Okay, I think we're live now. Let's wait for my beautiful mod to show up and tell me how the audio is. Just give her a couple seconds. Music's a little bit loud to me. Let's try with this a little bit further down. MB, are you here? Can you hear me? Everything, huh? Okay, how's my voice? Well, let's just start with voice. How is the voice? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Voice. Yeah, well, I know. I'm trying. Speaking. Still speaking. Hello. I'm still speaking. Okay, so that's good. Music. Seems I have to lower my volume this way. How is this now on the music front? It's kind of a quiet part of the song. Let me change it so it's a little bit louder. Okay, so everything's good? Everything's lovely? We can start? Cool. Okay. Well, welcome back to part 4. Our 4th coding stream. Woo! Oh, thank you. Thank you. So we're now on Windows, if you may have noticed. Previously, we were working... Yes, I did notice that. I don't know why, because it actually starts in the middle of certain songs. Like the Armored Core Garage theme, it just like starts halfway through. It gets copyrighted. When I uploaded it to YouTube, it doesn't seem to have a problem, and my VODs expire in like 6 days anyway, so no one's gonna be watching them, so I don't really care as long as YouTube can figure it out. I mean, who watches? Well, go to my YouTube. I'll put it in my bio. But anyway, we were on Linux. Decided we're gonna move away from that because that just wasn't working out. Too many problems with the screen being too dark and things like that. Couldn't force it into SDR. Or at least the SDR representation wasn't quite to my liking. Given that Linux actually doesn't have an HDR mode, but then I don't know why it was so wrong. But no matter, we're on Windows now. And we can finally get started. And hopefully now you can see all the colors nice and clean, and when I ask you, you know, how does this color look? You actually get to see what the color is. So I think probably the text is still too small for you guys. So let me just bump that up. I wish there was an in-between. Can you... Can't like set the zoom? Window zoom level, zoom per window. It would be nice if... Well, this is a negative one though, no? Okay, it's just gonna be like that, huh? Well, this should be big enough now that you guys can see pretty okay. Hopefully. You'll have to tell me if you can't. So last time we built out all of these meal expansions, but I kind of had a big idea. While I was working on some other stuff about ways to improve the expansion panels. So we'll just do that real quick. So I should have made... I put that here, huh? That's fine. We can move it into mothball. But we should make the expansion panel list builder. This will work way nicer than the default expansion panel list. And since I've already made this before, you'll excuse me, I'm going to bring up some other code and then kind of remake it. So, but I'll retype everything so that you can see what I'm doing. But essentially, I've already built this, so in a sense, redoing completely everything. But first, we'll add in our generics. And I'll explain what those are going to look like in a second, but just know I'll give you a little bit of a tease by showing you our first variable. Okay, and then we'll just grab this K and E, paste it everywhere, paste it everywhere. Great. Okay. And we'll want a header builder, which we don't really need their context, but it might help. And maybe we'll even want the items. And we'll want the child builder. Child builder. This song is loud. Alrighty. And we'll add in some sort stuff. Sort headers. We'll do the same thing for sort items. Whether or not this should be a radio expansion list, radio meaning that only one can open at once. We'll even do like start expanded. And we'll put in a decoration for the sublist decoration, which we'll define in a minute. And even some sublist padding, and we'll do another one for margin. And separate sublist. Okay. Now let's actually build our stuff. So we'll keep a set of everything that's expanded. This is unnecessary. We'll override our init state. And if the start expanded doesn't equal null, then we'll add everything to it. This should be nullable. And I'm just gonna pull in this since it's just padding. And now we can actually build the real widget. And ChatGPT knows exactly what I'm getting at. And we'll actually call these item map entries. Then we'll return a list view dot separated. Move this up. These will be shrink wrapped by default. For some reason, these apply a weird amount of padding, even though they don't need it. So, and divider. We'll do header divider color. Header divider color. And if that doesn't work, we'll do our app color scheme's primary divider. Okay. Item count. Item builder. Add in our types. We'll grab our map entry. We'll grab out our key and our items. And if we have to sort them, we will sort them. And we'll even just grab whether it's expanded or not. And we'll grab a list view. We'll instantiate it. Widget. Is that correct? Almost correct. One exception. We need our scroll physics to be clamped. Then we'll return a column with a main axis size of minimum, children. We'll wrap this in a material type transparency, an inkwell, and on tap. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I don't think we need it to be that big, but we'll leave it that way for now until we can verify. And now we add in our animated crossfade. You found a reference to public code in a recent suggestion? Okay, whatever. Is this correct? This looks good. This looks good. This looks good. Nope, that's not what we want. This does not look good. Is expanded. Then we'll grab a container, which will contain a list view or a shrunken box. Let's actually invert these. Will it do that nicely for me or no? Invert conditional, cool. We'll add in the decoration, which is the sublist decoration. The margin, which is the sublist margin. And that should be everything. Okay. Now we have one error, which is this, because we never actually created our header divider color. And this is actually going to default to false. Okay, so the reason why we created this is because the expansion panel list by default has some limitations. One, the children aren't built on expansion, which can be nice if the children are very complicated and take a while to render. The problem being that when you then open the expansion panel, it has a bit of it has some jank, some frame jank, and will lag slightly. However, in our scenario, that's not a problem. So it's better for it to just build it on demand and not keep state while it's, not expanded. That way, it also just makes... A problem I've found in the past is that the expansion panel list, when you have those children already built, when you have a really long one, the page can take a very long time to render when you navigate to it, just because it's building all of those children, which you could have hundreds. And in another project, that is exactly what's happening. So we will rename. Let's actually pull this out into its own thing. We didn't need to put it in there. Expansion panel list builder. Grab that. Oh, I just duplicated it, it looks like. Perfect. And we are going to move these into mothball. Let me see if you guys can see that okay. Yeah, well enough. And move these into mothball, expansion panel. Good. Now we'll just need to export these so that people can see them outside. Widgets, expansion panel box, and expansion panel list builder. Okay, we'll throw that away again. And now we no longer need these. We could run a Flutter pub get. It will then pull in all of the new mothball stuff. Go back here. This no longer exists. And it will just grab it from there. Okay. So now we can go about replacing this with our builder. So in a sense, we are kind of going backwards a bit since we had all this already done, but Um, yeah, I don't know. I find it better to just... What do you call it? The more we build incorrectly, the longer it'll take in the end. So, to me, this is valuable. So how are we doing this? So we'll actually want to create a new mapping here. What do these contain? Meal slots. Okay. And a list of meal displays. That's what it was. Meal list entries. All right, that's what we were making. So it's the meal map. And how we will build that is for every... yeah, that does it. Okay, cool. And our header will look identical to what it was before. So we can just grab that code. And grab our meal slot. Oop, that's not worth doing. Meal slot. Meal slot. And entries, though we won't actually be using it there. And entry. Okay. And then it was the meal slot box. Oops. Am I crazy? How is this working? Oh, we can pull this out. What song is this? Oh. What did I do? Breaking things. There we go. I think we pretty much have it now. Yeah. We're missing our dividers, but so far so good. Let's bring out our padding again. Child sublist padding. There we go. And we're even going to add a fancy little decoration. Okay, and oh, this needs to be separate sublist. There we go. Okay, and I think we're pretty much back in business. And I believe we can now get rid of these, though we'll want to have this sorted. So we can grab these back and do sort items. I think theoretically we should also just sort our headers based on index. Is that correct? I think we have something like that. Or is it in here that we have the index? In here we have the index. So, oops. When we grab this, where are we sorting with this? Do we ever? Maybe we never got that far. We could sort like this. And now we'll always be sorted. How nice. Okay, and now I think we can entirely get rid of this widget. And so now we've gone down a widget, which is perfect, making this even cleaner. And let's rebuild our app fully so that we can double check everything looks good. Yeah, I'm quite happy. The only thing is maybe we could do wrap this in a container. Does this already get put in a container? Nope. So we can wrap this in a container. Oh, and actually, there's that little divider there that I don't think we need. So let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, and let's now make this in here a bit darker. Let's pull that padding out of here. This isn't what we want. Let's just keep it as the child builder. But we do want to shrink that. And since this is never used, we can get rid of that. And this child padding can go directly on here, and we'll just let the child hold on to it. Yeah, I think that works a lot better, personally. But we should add some padding around here. Yeah, much better. Still ugly as hell, but this is good enough to start. Audio still good, Envy? Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we can go ahead and start working again on this dialogue that we were working on. Well, that we started working on before. We never actually got anywhere. So I suppose let's begin. So how we could make the dialogue is right now at the top we have add meal. And then we could do like a history thing. And then a creation. So we'll sort of want two options, to pick from history or to create right on the spot. Well, maybe we use our new fancy radio thing, and so the creation is up top, and that's what opens by default. And then history is expandable at the bottom. Let's try that out. So this does look a little bit weird now that I think about it. Is this what we want to do? Gotta get 2 expansion panels to open. But how I just created it, there's no what's the word? Iterable at the bottom for the actual list. Maybe we make one that doesn't take children? So this one always builds a sublist. So maybe we'll rename this the sublist builder. And we'll just duplicate one up top that doesn't generate a... I do not. That way it doesn't default to like creating a child in a list. Because there is no iterable this time. It's just a list of keys, really. Remove all these E's. Oh, and I should have renamed it before I did all that. There we go. We just listened to this song, didn't we? All right. Okay. Let's just mark these as K. And we can even inline this. Well, convert it to expression. There we go. Then our headers. Headers. Which grabs a key. We do not need to sort items. We will not be separating any sort of sublists because we do not have any. Don't need this. And there we go. Caps lock. Okay. And we'll fix this because it's a sublist builder. Cool. I think we should just make an enum for sections. Create and history. We'll private this because no one will ever need these. Okay, header builder. we will return a not quite what I was looking for, but close. And we'll return a placeholder for now. See how that looks. Doesn't look like anything. Why is this not rendering? Do I have to reload the thing? There we go. And start expanded will be this guy right here, the creation. When we open it, that should start expand. Awesome. Oh, and this should be radio. My mistake. Sweet. Excuse me, take a drink. We haven't even been streaming for 45 minutes and I'm already getting hungry. We started pretty late today. Since I was setting up the Windows PC to run Flutter and Android Studio. So we probably won't go for our usual 2 hours. Might cut it a little bit short today since we'll try and get it to maybe we'll quit at 7:30. Unless MB has a problem with that. Problem free. I'm jealous. I guess we'll make a switch statement here. Oh. How do I ban? Oh, we got a spam message. They have a long name. Makes it hard to copy and paste it. There we go. Just banned my first chatter. How exciting. I like that emote. How do you do it? I guess you click on the emote button and find it. Can you just type in Dino Dance? Yeah. I don't use Twitch, I just create on it. For some reason. So we'll want a creation section. Where I guess we'll create So I'm not sure how we'll balance like creating foods and meals at the same time. Off the top of my head, I guess we'll have like a little switcher. It'll be a little bit more clear when we get there. What song is this? Oh, more Sims. So let's make a class to hold all of this information here that we're going to be adding. So let's do, how about, we'll do another enum for creation type. We'll default to a food. This is going to get really long, so let's actually break this up into a folder. And we'll do creation section. Pull this out, but we'll make it depend on this right here. So it's a part of it. Essentially what doing the part and part of is Dart kind of treats it as if you put it at the end of the file anyway, but doing it this way keeps it neater, so we don't have like a 1,000-line file. And so all of the imports from the first file and anything private can still fall over into here. And let's grab our creation type. But first, actually, we want to our creation info will actually stay outside of this page and be created up here purely because if we don't, and then you click history, given that we just destroyed the state of create, you'll have lost everything that you did. So we'll actually want this to hold on to it and pass in creation info. Perfect. Nice. And then I think we'll put like a switcher on the right side to pick between food and meal. So let's find, it's like a Cupertino switcher thing. I very rarely use the Cupertino widgets, but sometimes they're pretty good. So I'm more of a, you know, boo Apple kind of guy. Flutter segmented switch? Segmented button? Is there a Cupertino one? Cupertino sliding segmented control. I kind of like the sliding one, especially since we're only having 2 options. So having a sliding one looks kind of nice, in my opinion. But they were using Apple stuff. Yeah, that sucks. And I apologize, I'm yawning into the microphone. I'm super tired. Oh, no. I'm pretty much always tired. Who knows why? All right, so that was the Cupertino sliding segment control class. Let's just grab that. Cupertino segmented sliding control class. What a name. Adaptive text. Adaptive text. And sorry, shouldn't cough into the microphone. My mistake. I don't think you can deselect anything, right? Can you deselect? I guess. And group value. Well, that's a little awkward. Thumb color. Let's grab our app color scheme, which so nicely auto completes every time. Do we have a secondary accent? Do we have a tertiary accent yet? You don't have a way of specifying that this was I guess if we do it this way and remove it from being const and just manually check every time, but I don't know if that'll rebuild on the state change. It should. I guess one way to find out. So we'll want to, let's take this out. I don't want to write widget.creation info every single time. So we'll do creation type. Getting too wordy. And we'll make the text black if it's selected. And we'll do the same thing down here, but if it's a meal. Nice. That looks all right. I know this is kind of weird to say, but I really do like that little dino dancing in the corner. He's pretty cute. Although it kind of reminds me of Ajaw from Genshin Impact. Thank you, dear. Does he dance? All right, back to this. So that will do it for the header here. Excuse me. I guess we'll give it a name. Okay. Ooh, that's terrible. So our first time actually typing out here, we're going to need that text to be probably white. So let's find out where I define that. How about text color? I would have thought that would have just grabbed it. What defines the text color in this thing? I don't remember. Maybe nothing at all. Interesting. All right, much better. And this will have to be expanded. Did my emulator like just break? Oh, no. It's pausing on uncaught exceptions. That's the problem. What is this? Can you get rid of that? Is that new? Is this like a new Android thing? I've never seen that before. Maybe it only happens with a physical keyboard. Weird. Let's add some spacing here. And maybe some padding on the child. Yeah, much better. Okay. So now the question is, what fields do we want? So given that we are giving the option between making a food and a meal, how about if it's just a food, the food we're creating is simply the first item in the list. We'll just automatically create a food here. And should we make the, if we make the, so what I'm thinking about right now is this would be kind of nice, but we run into a problem where I made the name not nullable, which is nice when we're displaying everything, but kind of throws a wrench when it comes time to render the text field and put the hint text in, because it will only throw the hint text in if the initial value is null. Maybe if we just set it to kind of nothing right now. We're also going to want to rip this out because eventually this will become food. This is just for food, so this will be food creation. This should actually be stateful. So what we can do is to get all around that. Let's actually grab our first food. Then grab the name from that food. And if name is empty, we'll actually set it to null. And there, now it's like perfect. And we'll even add some validation here. So this is a required field. Okay. Nice, and this saves it too. We're gonna want a different display screen for food, for meals. There we go. Now it'll go back to a placeholder. Sorry again. Okay, now it's time for things like calories, fat, grams. We'll also have to deal with serving sizes, but let's just get the basic stuff out of the way. Man, I just can't stop yawning. Yeah, it wants me to do serving size, but I'm not ready for that yet. I still want to do calories. Well, that's not what I want. I want calories. There we go. That is rendering really weirdly. Why is that rendering like this? Oh, because this doesn't have a size. There we go. I apologize, everyone. I'm quite tired today. That I'm struggling a little bit to be on game. I think this gets defined automatically, right? Why did this default to... Oh, because we're in demo. Let's rip this part out. And wherever we create foods, let's do it this way. There, now we still get all the demo stuff. But when we manually create them, it's not a problem anymore. So when I reload, we should still get all of this stuff showing up, which we do. But when we go over here, we get 0 for calories. Perfect. And let's even put in our fancy calorie icon. Nutrition icons, calories, with same thing for color. You can believe me that that will exist. Oops, sorry, I'm in prefix. Maybe we'll actually shove this in front here. I don't know if I like that within the text box. Yeah, we can keep it that way. I'll add some spacing too. Add some more spacing. And then we'll duplicate this for protein and carbs and fat. Carbs. Carbs and fat. Great. And so let's actually align all of these values because they look really ugly right now. I guess we'll have to calculate what the sizing should be. But that's quite easy to do. Text size, and we'll figure that out up here. Double text size. And do change dependencies, which is a callback for when the screen size changes, amongst some other things. We'll do get width of text. And which is longer, calories or protein? CAL. So 6 and 8. Okay, calories. And then we will also want to increase it by that. Whatever our icon size will end up as. So I guess it's just 1. Font scale of 1. Okay, and if we reload that. Yeah, that looks like it'll line up right. I don't. Yeah, okay. There we go. And then if we go back up here. And add it to the ends. Oh, we're missing something. We may have to do this manually because I'm starting to break the whole UI. Okay. Wrap this in a row. I hate front-end work. It's so much tedium with just adjusting values and adjusting values. Okay, and we'll bring that spacing down into here. And we missed it for calories. Okay, now everything is aligned. And I think that should do it. We'll just make a save button down at the bottom. And then we'll have a super, super basic version of this. Call it add. Didn't mean to put const. Why is this so rounded? Is this even also the right color? Let's make that just a regular accent, first off. And why is it so rounded? That's not right. I see no reason why it should be rounded. At least to this degree. Let's see if we can fix this with a border radius of, I like 5. I think that's just nice and subtle. Yeah, much better. Okay, I'm not sure why that was missing, but... And... should we leave it right dead center? Obviously, we gotta change the text color, but should we leave it right dead center, or throw it all the way on the right hand side? What do you think, MB? Center or align it to the right? Maybe you need to see both. Okay. Works for me. Needs more margin. You are definitely correct. Do you feel like... Well, let me show you 2 different things and you could pick. I could do it this way. Oh, sorry, this should be padding. I could do it this... Ooh, way too far. I could do it like that, where everything kind of shrinks in, or just the button. Show you just the button. Okay. Wrong file. Okay. Now it's just the button. Okay. That's what we'll do. You're in charge. I know, but I value your opinion. I know that's hard for you. Okay. Now let's try actually creating these. So first off, let's wrap this in a form. We'll give it a form key. And valid form key. If valid equals false, then we will return. So if I click this, it should yell at me about the name. Awesome. And then we're kind of going to diverge here where it depends on our creation info. And this kind of got it perfectly where we'll take our meal slot, take our food, and then we'll add the first food that we're working with. And for this, we won't do anything. Well, yeah, we will. Okay. I decided we will, since it's easy enough to implement. Nice. No, meals. Meals. And when we, ooh, no, that would be bad. Let's not do it this way. We should make a method that takes this in. That way it will handle all of the ID bindings for us, because we'll run into trouble if we don't. I'm just calling it. Add food. Food. Foods add food. Food IDs add food IDs. Same for this. And foods. You know, sometimes when I'm typing and I'm working for a long time and it's been a long day, when I type a word enough times, it ceases looking like a real word. And so I'm at the point where I'm looking at food and it doesn't look like a real word anymore. Like, that doesn't mean food to me anymore. Strange. So if foods does not equal null, we will also want to take this. Let's make a whole new list just in case. And we'll even do this demo stuff down here. So when we create the food, it pulls in the food IDs. Okay, so now if we start over, And we add a food. We'll call it test food. And it will have 1,000 calories. When I go out of here, nothing happened, so it didn't work. Cool. First, we should, navigator context.pop. Oh, there's our test food, finally showed up. But we need to rebuild everything. So if mounted, set state, and then we'll do it again with test food number 2, test food 2, and we'll add in 1 calorie, add it, and test food 2 shows up, and this recalculates. Perfect. Okay. Now we have really, really basic food additions. Personally, there's a little bit too much content padding here. So let's see if we could do something about that. Because it's just too much. What if we did... Where's this even showing up? Content padding. Content padding. What if I did something like edge insets 0? Just commented this out. How will this look? Oop, I'm in the wrong thing. I didn't get to see because I... Okay. Okay, so that didn't help. There's still too much vertical padding. How do I fix that? How about we put is dense as true? Ah, that's nice. Much better. Yeah, that's way neater. Perfect. Okay. Alrighty. And finally, at the end of these, well, we are in the creation dialog. Here we go. These should realistically be auto-built and not something that we do manually every single time. So we'll give it the food, and then we'll give it the nutrition type, which in this case was it still fat? Yeah, which was fat. And I like this of nutrition type. Nutrition type. And we'll take all of these nutrition type. We'll title case this. Title case that. Oh, that didn't need to be encapsulated. Remove const. And we'll also throw in our text size, which is calculated outside. Okay, and text size. Okay, and now we should just be able to do this a couple times over. For calories, carbs, and protein. Get rid of all of these, which took up too much space, and way nicer. And we will add in a suffix, which will be a drop-down field. Can I give an input decoration? Yeah, we'll do it like this. We don't need to type anything out here. I think this should still handle everything for us. What you need the hint text. Really? That seems unlikely to me. Okay. And nutrition controller. Nope. Nutrition, not nutrition icons. Well, yes, but we shouldn't call it that. Serving sizes. We'll have to rename this going forward. And this will be a list of all of the eligible serving sizes. Yeah, and how about we just call this nutrition info? Since it's evolving a little bit further than just being about icons at this point. Gotta re-import. But we don't want this if there are no serving sizes. Serving size units. That's what they should be called, serving size units. Serving size units. We don't want this at all. If these are null. Perfect. Okay, and that of course broke everything. So we want this to be is dense true. And we want it collapsed. And I suppose we'll need to assign a width here. So let's do just get width of text. We'll do what's like how many what is the longest shorthand unit size? Probably fluid ounces comes to mind. And then we'll just add like a bunch of padding. Like a bunch of padding. There we go. Okay. Unit selector width. And let's pull this up as well. Final double unit selector width. Require this dot unit selector width. Okay. All the way back here. And then set this back to nothing. Oh, and we'll want to make this not look stupid. Perfect. Okay. And personally, I would get the alignment, if I can remember how to do that. I would align it to the right. Text alignment, center right, will that work? And then color, text color, icon color, hover color, counter style color, nope. Do I not have the ability to do that? Text style, values. Here we go. App, colors, base text. Alrighty. Well, I can't see that, but drop down menu icon. How do I change the background of the drop down color? Cool. Drop down color, background. Nice. Looking good. Kinda. Top of the drop down should be aligned with the bottom of the box. Oh, you mean this part should go to the bottom here? Yeah, that'd be nice. That's not happening though. Maybe way in the. Oh, it's very important to you. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Whew. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see if it is dinner time. You are correct. Give me 1 second, and I will grab us dinner. Um. Yep, I don't think I have the ability to influence where that shows up. So we would have to create our own drop down menu in the future, which could be fun. But for right now, I am very hungry. You are very hungry. Um, do you like it with that underline just before we go? You don't like it with the underline? Okay. Underline bad. All right. So we'll also do default unit, which will be serving size units dot first or null. And then they will default to grams. Okay, grams. All right, that's a good amount of progress today, I think. I'm hungry. MB is hungry. We're all hungry. So I think that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. Let us first just clean some stuff up. Do our git commits. Part 4. Commit. Part 4. And now we got to find someone to raid really quick. Well, I feel bad about raiding if I'm not actually going to stay. So maybe we'll just end the stream because we're going to go straight to dinner. So, alrighty. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.